Some beaches are beautiful, and then there are beaches that make you stop and wonder if you're looking at a real place. Water so clear, it looks digitally rendered. Sand so white, it almost glows. Cliffs, lagoons, islands, and coastlines that seem to belong to another planet. But every beach you're about to see is real. And number one might be the most unbelievable of them all. Welcome to SkyKeys world. Today, we're leaving the ordinary behind and traveling to 10 beaches that look almost impossible. No ordinary tourist beaches. These are places where the journey itself becomes part of the story. Let's begin. 10. Railay Beach, Thailand. At number 10, we begin in southern Thailand. But Railay Beach doesn't look like the typical beach escape. Towering limestone cliffs rise dramatically from the sea, surrounding a stretch of soft sand and emerald water. And here's the interesting part. Railay is separated from the mainland by those enormous cliffs, meaning the beach is best reached by boat. The moment you arrive, it feels less like checking into a destination, and more like discovering one. Long tailboats drift across the water. Jungle climbs the cliffs. And as the sun begins to disappear, the limestone walls turn golden. This isn't just a beach. It's a natural amphitheater. But our next beach takes the idea of paradise in a completely different direction. 9. Pink Beach, Komodo, Indonesia. Imagine arriving at a beach and realizing the sand isn't white. It's pink. Welcome to Pink Beach in Indonesia's Komodo region. The unusual color comes from a mixture of pale sand and tiny red fragments from coral. Against the impossibly blue water, the contrast almost doesn't look real. And this is what makes places like this so special. You don't need a luxury resort. You don't need a giant hotel. Nature has already done the decorating. Pink sand, turquoise water, volcanic islands rising in the distance. It's one of those places where your camera almost feels unnecessary because your eyes are already struggling to take it all in. 8. Anse, Lazio, Seychelles. Now we're heading to the Seychelles, and this is where the definition of a tropical paradise starts getting dangerous. Anse, Lazio combines almost everything people imagine when they hear the words Dream Beach. Powder-soft sand, warm turquoise water, palm trees, and enormous granite boulders framing the shoreline. But what makes this place special isn't just one feature, it's the combination. The rocks make the beach feel ancient. The water feels impossibly clear, and the surrounding vegetation makes the entire coastline feel untouched. It's the kind of beach that makes you understand why some travelers spend years chasing the perfect island. 7. Cala, Goloritzé, Sardinia. Our next destination proves that paradise doesn't always mean the Caribbean. Welcome to Sardinia. Hidden along the rugged coast of Italy, Cala Goloritzé feels more like a secret than a beach. The water is intensely blue. The cliffs rise almost vertically from the coastline, and a distinctive limestone pinnacle dominates the landscape. There are no giant resort towers here, no endless rows of sun lounges, just rock, sea, sky, and one extraordinary little stretch of sand. And sometimes, the less a place gives you, the more unforgettable it becomes. 6. Matira Beach, Bora Bora. Halfway through our journey, we're going somewhere that almost feels unfair. Bora Bora, and specifically Matira Beach. Here, the water changes color as you move farther from shore. Pale turquoise becomes deep blue. Mountains rise dramatically behind the lagoon, and the horizon seems to stretch forever. This is the kind of place that has become almost synonymous with luxury travel. But here's what I love about it. Even with the world-class resorts and famous overwater villas, the landscape itself remains the star. Because no hotel can compete with a lagoon like this. Bora Bora doesn't just look like paradise. It looks like someone's definition of paradise was turned into a real place. 5. Baía dos Porcos, Fernando de Noronha, Brazil. Now we're going somewhere a little harder to reach. Fernando de Noronha, off the coast of Brazil. And hidden within this extraordinary island landscape is Baía dos Porcos. The beach is small, the coastline is rugged, and the water can be so clear that the boundary between ocean and sky almost disappears. But look beyond the beach. Those dramatic volcanic rock formations rising from the sea are what give this place its identity. This isn't the kind of beach you visit simply to lie on the sand. You come here to look around, to swim, to explore, and to realize just how wild the ocean can be. Some beaches are beautiful because they're perfect. This one is beautiful because it's wild. 4. Whitehaven Beach, Australia. At number 4, we're going to Australia. And if you've ever wondered what happens when nature decides to create a giant piece of abstract art, look at Whitehaven Beach. Located in the Whitsunday Islands, Whitehaven is famous for its incredibly pale silica sand and brilliant blue water. But the real magic happens at Hill Inlet. As the tide moves in and out, sand and water create enormous swirling patterns across the inlet. From above, it almost looks painted. Except there is no artist. Just the tide, the sand, and millions of years of nature doing what nature does best. This is one of those landscapes where the aerial view isn't just beautiful, it's essential. 3. Grace Bay, Turks and Caicos. We're down to 3. And now, the competition gets serious. Because sometimes the most spectacular beach isn't the one with the biggest cliffs or the strangest sand. Sometimes it's simply the one that gets almost everything right. Grace Bay in Turks and Caicos is famous for its long stretch of soft sand and remarkably clear turquoise water. The colors seem almost exaggerated. Blue water, white sand, endless horizon, and a coastline that feels incredibly calm. It's the kind of place where you could spend an entire afternoon doing absolutely nothing and somehow feel like you've had the perfect day. Maybe that's what paradise is supposed to feel like. 2. Source d'Argent, Seychelles. Number 2 takes us back to the Seychelles. But this time, we're visiting one of the most visually recognizable beaches on Earth, Anse Source d'Argent. And the first thing you'll notice isn't even the water. It's the rocks. Huge granite formations sit along the shoreline, shaped by time, weather, and the ocean. Between them, shallow, turquoise water reflects the sky. Palm trees move slowly in the breeze, and the soft light creates shadows across the sand. It doesn't look like a normal beach. It looks like someone designed the perfect tropical landscape and then somehow made it real. Matira Bay, Thailand. And now, number 1. A place you've probably seen before, but perhaps never quite like this. Matira Bay. Hidden within towering limestone cliffs on Thailand's Phi Phi Lay Island. Matira Bay became famous around the world after appearing in the film The Beach. And it's easy to understand why. The cliffs rise almost completely around the bay. The water glows turquoise, and the white beach sits inside one of the most dramatic natural settings in Thailand. But Matira Bay also tells an important story. Its enormous popularity put tremendous pressure on the environment. So the area has undergone closures and visitor management measures designed to give the ecosystem time to recover. And that changes the way we should think about places like this. The goal shouldn't be to conquer paradise. It should be to experience it and leave enough of it behind for someone else to discover. 10 beaches. 10 completely different versions of paradise. Some are remote, some are famous, some are wild, and some are almost impossible to believe until you're standing there. But that's the beauty of travel. The world is still full of places capable of surprising us. So now, I want to know, which beach would you visit first? And if you're looking for your next extraordinary escape, subscribe to SkyKeys World, because the world is full of places worth discovering. We'll see you in the next journey.